What's going on, everyone? Well, that's it. The season is officially over for the Lakers. It sucks. It's unfortunate, right? We all had hope. We all were very hopeful that the Lakers could maybe pull this off, that maybe this year was the Lakers' year. Ton of just excitement in the offseason to go out this way. Sucks. Like I said, I'm always going to go down with the ship. I'm always going to remain optimistic. I'm always going to remain hopeful. I'm always going to have a level of belief. Because, again, stranger things happen. And plus, it's my team. I'm not going to root against my team. I'm not going to just be like, that's it. I want to fight till the very end, just like the Lakers did. Got to give the Lakers some credit in that regards that they could have packed it in numerous times, but really fought. And even in last night's game, it really felt like, oh, man, maybe the Lakers can do this. But once again, a couple things here and there kind of go Denver's way, a couple loose balls, offensive rebounds, just bad possessions for the Lakers. And that's the difference, right? It sucks. It's unfortunate, but it's how it goes. You got to kind of just tip your hat to the Denver Nuggets and just say, hey, they got us again. They've been the better team. I thought the Lakers were the better team for most of this series. It's just, at the end of the day, it's the team that wins, right? And it sucks, but it is what it is. You got to just recalibrate, move on, and let's hope for a better year next year, right? Like I said, only one team every year gets to say that we were the best team. We'll see if that's Denver this year. I do think that Minnesota matchup is going to be very tough, very interesting, especially if Jamal Murray is hobbled. But we'll see. Time will tell. Nonetheless, we get to move into the offseason now. There's going to be a ton of just things to talk about, rumors, speculation. Do the Lakers get a third star? Do the Lakers do this? Do the Lakers do that? So get ready for a wild ride, because I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of things for us to talk about. Many of you I know have been around for other off seasons, kind of dive into all the news, speculations, give my takes. Of course, always want to hear your thoughts and opinions. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Don't miss any of the off-season news and just conversations. Also, make sure to like this video. But Darvin Ham, right? That's a big question. Darvin Ham, what is going to happen with Darvin Ham? I know many people want Darvin Ham fired immediately, right? As soon as the Lakers buzzer sounded and they lost, I know people wanted Ham to be immediately fired. Thing is, they're probably not going to fire him till officially in the offseason, right? Because they're going to be patient. They're going to do their due diligence. They're going to take their time. They're going to try to find who can we get that makes sense, that can kind of replace Darvin Ham and be, a better coach in that regard. Darvin Ham had his good moments. He had his bad moments. But overall, I just think he's a coach that's in over his head for what we're looking for. If we were a young team that was just happy to be in the playoffs and we were, this was more about the future rather than right now, then I wouldn't mind keeping Darvin Ham, right? And just seeing, what does he develop into? Can he continue to improve? Can he continue to get better, right? Everyone's got to start year one, year two. I mean, even guys like Eric Spoelstra, they were calling for his name and his jersey or his coaching whistle, right? They were calling for that in his first few years. I mean, even LeBron James and Dwayne Wade were going to Pat Riley saying, hey, we need to get rid of this guy. We need to fire this guy. Now look, now he's looked at as one of the best, if not the best coaches in the entire NBA. So every team has those hiccups, but the problem is we're not this young team that is developing for the future. We're a team that's in win now mode. You got LeBron James, who is only going to be another year older, Anthony Davis, who's another year older, and then whatever else you put around. We just don't have the time for the hiccups and the learning curve of a second-year head coach now going into his third year, and for him to try to figure out and be better. So I think either A, you have to fire him, or B, if you're going to keep him, you got to get a real experienced X's and O's game managing level head coach. I do think Darvin Ham does have some good qualities, but I just think for being management of the game, lineup structures, things that are very important as a head coach, I just don't think Darvin Ham is the guy for the job currently. Again, maybe one day he will be great. Maybe one of these young teams can pick him up, and 5 years from now, we're like, man, Darvin Ham is a great coach. Maybe some of us are like, hey, we should have kept him. But I just think ultimately you need to get rid of him. Well, there are reports that it looks like the Lakers are very likely, that it is highly likely, that the Lakers are going to let go of Darvin Ham at some point. So, per Shams, Lakers finished the season, has left coach Darvin Ham's future in serious peril, as some stakeholders indicate he is highly unlikely to return, sources say. And then there's a whole article per The Athletic. It was also followed, this was posted by Dave McMenamin, who Adrian Wojnarowski also reposted. But for the second straight season, the Denver Nuggets way worked better. this time in the first round of the 2024 playoffs, putting Ham's job very much in jeopardy, league sources told ESPN. The Lakers plan to conduct a post-mortem on the season in the coming days before making a decision on Ham's future, a team source told ESPN. So, again, it looks like the Lakers, more likely than not, are going to unload Darvin Ham, if they're going to part ways with him, which, again, I think is the right decision. I will say, don't get your hopes super up, right? Because I don't know who the Lakers can replace Darvin Ham with at the moment. I mean, we'll see in the offseason, coach ends up leaving, or say another coach is like, hey, my contract's up. I'm not going to renew my contract. I want to go coach the Lakers, right? There's a lot of things that could develop in the offseason. Right now, it's like, who can the Lakers get that really makes sense? That is, and I understand some people might look at it as like anybody's better than Darvin Ham. It's not always the case, right? Names that have thrown out like Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson's pretty much blackballed out of the league. If you want to know why, look it up. Don't want to really go into it too much. But yeah, Mark Jackson's been kind of blackballed out of the league. I don't ever see him getting another job. Then there's like the Van Gundys. I'm not really big on the Van Gundys, if I'm being honest. I just don't think that they're that great. Then you got like Terry Stotts. Like, okay, maybe. I know people have thrown out Mike Budenholzer, but everything Darvin Ham does is from Bud. Like, Bud was literally fired for the same things that Darvin Ham is doing, or lack thereof, right? It's just the dominoes kind of fell in his court to where it kind of led into what he wanted. Now, I've seen people throw out the JJ Redick and Rajon Rondo, which I might do a dedicated video on one or both. Maybe I'll do it together, depending on how long the video is. Maybe I'll do them separately. But look, I as far as the basketball brain and mind goes, Rondo and JJ Redick seem like they're guys that would be excellent as a head coach, right? But the problem is then you still run the concerns of that first-year head coach, right? The hiccups, the mistakes, the little flaws, the things that, don't always translate, right? There's a lot that goes into head coaching beyond just the understanding of the game or the understanding of the X's and O's. Yeah, can JJ Redick or Rajon Rondo draw up a play? Sure. Can they be a little creative in their playmaking? Sure. Right? Do they have an understanding and grasp and see things on the court that very few do? Sure. But then you got to get into the sort of rigmarole of being a head coach and the game management and when to properly, is this the line or is this not? And then you have to deal with the media and you have to deal with the fans, right? Because, whether it's Phil Jackson fans were rioting to try to get rid of at some points, right? I'm old enough to remember that, okay? So, again, there's a lot that goes into head coaching besides just you show up, you draw up a couple plays, call a couple timeouts, things are good. No, there's a lot that goes into it, right? Even Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd has been excellent, and he's done a really good job, with the Dallas Mavericks. But he didn't just jump. We did at one point, but, and then he goes back to the bench, and he's with the Lakers on the bench, kind of learning the ins and outs and the understanding and grasping what it takes to actually be a coach, right? Because the first stint just didn't go so well, right? Who was that? The Brooklyn Nets, right? Wasn't it that where he first got his stint with? That was I'm talking about the long time ago. But you saw the head coaching gig didn't work. Then he goes and comes to the Lakers. He's an assistant for the Lakers, excellent with the Lakers. He was a huge part and a huge reason as to why the Lakers ended up winning that championship in 2020. Then he gets the head coaching job in Dallas. And his second year, Dallas fans were, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. Why would they go and get a... And now they're like, oh, he's a great coach. But again, there were moments where, right, it's not great. So that's the thing. It's not always sunshines and rainbows for the first-year head coach. Right? Again, Jason Kidd was a head coach first time. And he was doing clever things, right? Remember the cup where he's telling the guy to bump into him and he bumps into him and spills the cup so he can get some extra time, right? Jason Kidd is very clever on just the little extra things that he can get away with. But, right, he lost his job the first stint. Dallas, they wanted him gone in the second stint, right? But now he's kind of coming into his own. Again, so you go get a Rondo, you go get a Redick. you run those risks. So it's like, who do they replace him with? If the Lakers aren't confident in another head coach, I don't necessarily think that they'll replace him. Right? I think you should. I think you might need to. I think also just for like the players in the locker room sake at this point, it kind of seems like LeBron and AD are kind of out on Darvin Ham. I mean, you've seen a lot of call-outs. There's been a lot of reports that like LeBron and AD kind of want to tell Rob Pelinka and Jeannie like, hey, he needs to go type thing. So, I think it'll happen, right? I'm pretty confident it'll happen, but just keep in mind that it also might not happen, right? Because again, you got to find somebody that can replace him that actually makes sense, right? And especially for the pieces in the roster you get. So we'll see. Time will tell. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you like the idea of replacing Darvin Ham? If so, who would you like to replace him with? Are you disappointed in the season? Are you excited for the offseason? Again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.